Hello and welcome everyone. We are here at the Tech Capital's InfraAI Summit, and I'm joined by Douglas Mouton, Advisory Board Member for Fidelis New Energy. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you finding this whole experience?
Well, thanks for having me. It's fantastic. It's great to be here in Athens and a beautiful environment and with some of the leading digital folks in Europe.
So tell me, you chaired the first panel. What were some of the key takeaways that you got from that panel session?
We had some of the biggest colo provider leaders in Europe across the four panelists, but I would say what's on top of everyone's mind is this kind of stacking effect of traditional AI, well, not traditional AI, but compute and storage workloads that we've been servicing for years, and on top of that AI sits, and everyone's trying to rationalize what to make of this. And as we come off the heels of GTC, which happened last week, where we're seeing ever denser servers show up, it's creating a fundamental problem for the colo providers to solve, and that is they're designing infrastructure that will last for 20 and 30 years, but now the servers inside are changing technology requirements every 12 months, and maybe even shorter periods of time. So it's going to put our financial models on their head a little bit while we figure out the best way to deliver capital, deliver infrastructure, and also support the technological roadmap that's in front of us.
I mean, sometimes I think speed and the rate in which the industry is growing does sound like a positive thing, but tell me, are there any kind of constraints that comes with this rapid move, this rapid change?
There are so many things to consider, particularly in Europe, where we have a lot of protections around sovereign data and people keeping their data within their own country's boundaries. And when we think about the training models and how they could be using data, and also the security of data within data centers that is now a corporate responsibility across Europe, there are a lot of regulatory hurdles to really think about in that process. I think what we're finding is that we're seeing quicker and more rapid adoption of large AI learning models in places like the US, even the Middle East, and we see Europe kind of lagging in that space. So we're curious to see how that actually manifests into real AI training models in Europe.
And so tell me, I mean, with Europe, you know, with Greece especially, like what's the market here specifically? What does it need, I guess, to bump itself up to, you know, be a London perhaps?
I think Greece is doing great, and the big aha moment for me was recognizing that the Mediterranean really sits at the center point of the world. You know, it helps connect Asia to Europe, Europe to Africa, Europe to the US. So I think it's going to play a pivotal role, and I think as we look for more space and power, markets like Greece show up as really viable places to grow our digital footprint. So I'm really excited for Greece.
Right, and so I think it's good to also discuss some of the stuff that are really exciting you in the industry in general. Aside from Greece, what kind of trends are you picking up or noticing that you think is going to absolutely transform this industry?
I think we have a lot of big things to solve. The first one is the interface of technology into our infrastructure. It's not the infrastructure as we once knew it. AI training models have the flexibility to start and stop. They have higher densities of power, which means we could see a much more efficient, lower cost basis for an AI training factory versus a traditional compute and storage data center or even for inference. The real rub, I think, for the industry is after we finish training and we really understand what does it take to create an AI factory, which I believe is faster and cheaper than a traditional data center, can we evolve as an industry to run inference loads and traditional loads with more resiliency so that they can work off of leaner infrastructure? That's powerful because that means our cost basis will lower for the cost of compute and cost of inference, as well as the time to market will decrease. Because if you think about all these AI training models, if they become really lean factories, do we have to retrofit them to then infer? So I think those companies that come up with software that's more resilient will create a wide moat between them and the competition. So I'm hoping that the market catches on to that and we see some deep innovation in software resiliency.
And how feasible is it to achieve what you just mentioned?
I think what I observe is our engineers across the world are brilliant and they achieve whatever they focus on. Right now we're focused on features and competition in terms of getting more eyeballs and more utilization on the products that we develop. when the industry sees the need for resiliency in software as a key feature that enables growth, I think we'll see all kinds of innovation.
And my final question for you, when we come back here in the next 12 months, so I hope to see you back here, what kind of conversations would you like to hear? Like, how would you like it to evolve and move on from, the discussions that were happening today?
Well, I'd love to see some kind of clarity on how we can achieve AI training factories in Europe. I'd love to see developments in terms of energy around the software stack getting more resilient to allow us to get the benefit of more economical models to create data center infrastructure.
Perfect. Well, is there anything else also? Did I not ask you a question that I should have asked?
No, you did great. You hit everything that was on top of mind for me.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And it's been great, Douglas.
It's very nice to meet you.
And for you at home, don't forget to check out our latest news at our website and our social media at the Tech Capital. You lead, we report. Bye for now.